Hey, everybody. And I don't think there. Oh, maybe there's somebody here. Hey, if you're here, say howdy. I um I didn't know if I was gonna do a live stream today. I certainly don't have an agenda. It's Easter and family's all downstairs, all laying around with full bellies after a meal, and I just thought, hey, it's about that time, so I'll just come on up and stream and just say hi and happy Easter. Hope everybody's doing well. Again, I don't have any agenda or anything. I just wanted to. I didn't want to be the guy who just didn't show up to his own regular live stream. That seems a little strange. So yeah, I hope you're doing well. If you celebrate Easter, I hope that it's going well. If you don't celebrate Easter, I hope your Sunday is going well. Um, and if you're if you're over in the continent to my east, hopefully your day has been well because I think it makes it pretty late in the evening right now for you. But nonetheless, and if you're seeing this after the fact, that's okay too. I just wanted to say hi. This week I don't know if I'm gonna do some live streaming of it or just try to record some video. But I took the week off from my day job. Now I still have to monitor things because I mean that's just who I am. But I'm going to be home. I'm going to be working on. Hey, Mason, good to see you. I'm going to be working in my yard and stuff because if you have been following me for a year, last spring, one of my first newsletters was me just declaring bankruptcy on our backyard. The grass had gotten so long and it was too tangly, so we just didn't use our backyard for anything last year at all. And so this week it's going to be in the 60s and 70s. I don't know what that is in Celsius, but 60s and 70s, really nice, warm spring weather. And so I'm going to try to get the yard ready for. Oh, dude, welcome. Trying to get the yard ready for summer so we can actually use our backyard this year. So anyway, that's my plan. Um, I, I'm going to be hopefully working on the book a little and everything, but I'm going to do a lot of work outside. And I officially took the PTO off. So yeah, so hopefully get a lot done. And I don't know. Like I said, maybe I'll live stream from the yard. Maybe I'll try and get some time lapse. I don't know if I'm might be too shameful to show the backyard in its current state and then try to work on it. So I don't know. We'll see. Basically, it's going to be days of raking dog poop. If I'm being completely blunt, that's that's pretty much what the yard is right now. Oh, Santiago, hello, hello, and yeah. So that was it. That's what's happening this week. If anybody has I mean, shoot questions my way if you want to know anything. If there's something that's been bothering you, like I said, there's no agenda. I just didn't want to not show up today. So it has been an Easter. So Easter in my family, we generally go against the standard traditions, if you will. And so, like for Christmas, our Christmas dinner is homemade pizza. Like that's what we do every year. We make pizza, homemade pizza every year for Christmas dinner. We do go traditional with Thanksgiving here in the U.S. Thanksgiving dinner, it's pretty standard. I mean, we're vegetarian, so maybe it's not standard because I usually cook a turkey but don't eat it. But then for Easter, we have always bought subs and just had subs or hoagies or whatever the long sandwiches, whatever you call them where you are. But the last couple of years, there hasn't really been a sandwich shop nearby. And so we have been making sandwiches and with our own panini press here at the house. And so it it makes for a longer cooking experience, but that's what we did. So yeah, I have to put away dinner stuff too because we have like sandwich fixings down the counter with like two different panini presses set up, and yeah, it's pretty interesting. Um, oh, Mason, you're back. Oh, so I have another friend in who lives just outside of London, I think, and I always have to remember it's back garden. It's funny the term garden. Like if you say like your garden, it's like what we would call our yard, like our front yard or backyard. Garden specifically for Americans is like where you grow vegetables, like the thing that is like where you grow vegetables, like you plant rows of food that's a garden. And so it always throws me for a loop when she talks about her like her back garden. And so yeah, I always enjoy cultural differences like that. So yeah, I don't want to go back there either because now, since we declared bankruptcy on the yard last year, now there's like 2 years of dog poop, and I realize that it goes away, but man, it's not gonna be fun. It is not gonna be fun. So yeah, but it is what it is. It'll be nice to have the week off, and the weather is just supposed to be so lovely. So I'm looking forward to that, if nothing else. Mason, do you have turkey for Christmas and Thanksgiving? So yeah, the traditional meals, the big meals, we generally have. I mean, Thanksgiving. Most families have a turkey. Some families have a ham. Some families have turkey and ham as like the main protein. For us, we usually do make a turkey. When I worked at CBT Nuggets, they would send us a ham every year, so we would have that ham. And then sometimes I do like a tofurkey, like fake turkey. Sometimes we just don't have meat. Like my wife and I are vegetarians, and the rest of the family isn't. So sometimes we'll just do that. And then for Christmas, most people again will do a turkey. I think ham is a little more popular for Christmas. And again, we do the pizza thing, homemade pizza. And then New Year's. A lot of people do a New Year's dinner. We really don't have we don't do like a big meal for New Year's, but a lot of people do like another big, turkey dinner, mashed potatoes, stuffing, all that stuff for New Year's. And then Easter is another one where usually there's a big gathering of people. Then our like summer holidays, like we have the 4th of July or Independence Day. Yeah, but that's generally barbecue on the grill, like hot dogs, hamburgers, bratwursts, that kind of thing. Same thing with Memorial Day, Labor Day. Generally, those are outside, cook on the grill kind of holidays. So, I got a quick question. I was looking at my 6-year-old into animation. Loves drawing. It blows my mind. Oh yeah. So I really don't do much for animation. I tried. If you saw, there was like one little clip of Blue talking, and for that I used Adobe Character Animator, I think it is, because it will sync with your webcam, so you can talk, and it will move the mouth for you. And there's like some pre-made characters, so you can do stuff pretty quickly. But that's expensive, and Adobe isn't cheap. So there's that. There are some like just drawing animation tools. There was one that wasn't too bad. It's even open source. I think I still have it. Hold on, let me look at my bin folder, because it was it was a downloadable app image. It was called Synfig, Synfig. It was like an open source thing. I know it worked in Linux because that's where I used it. Let me search for it. Synfig. It had some pretty synfig.org. It had some pretty simple like onion skinning stuff, so you can like draw and then like you see the previous and the next frame and stuff. So that was fun. There was another one on just an iPad, and I don't remember who. I'll send a message. Let's see, to a group of friends here, a Signal channel. This will be off screen, but I don't know if they're going to be watching Signal. Hey, y'all. Question during my live stream about animation. What was that program some of your kids used? Maybe on an iPad or Android tablet? I'll see if they respond. But other than that, I don't have any great tools. Mario Paint. That's what we used when I was little. And if you're too young for understanding how awesome Mario Paint was in its time. And Synfig seemed one of the least complicated to use, but still, it's a lot of work. That's why I asked about the tablet one, because I think it was a more simplistic thing. Oh, dang. Santiago had to President. Oh. So daylight saving time is no longer things, but some servers changed anyway. Is that kind of what happened? Like weren't updated, so automatically changed time. That's kind of a funny problem, like a little minor Y2K issue. And so it's funny you say time management is the is a good topic. Literally, the next video we're covering is about. I think it's the next one we're covering is for the Linux Plus course is going to be about time. Actually, a couple different daemons, but the time daemon, yeah, configuring time using using both cronny and NTP, which I don't know why it doesn't cover it, but also the time. Oh, what is it? System D's time thing. It might be just like, I don't even know. But anyway, and then like time date CTL to control it. So yeah, we're talking about that in the next, literally in the next video that I'm making. So that's kind of funny. It didn't get released yet, but it should soon. Yeah, Synfig does look pretty cool. I didn't do it much, but yeah, Mario Paint. If you have Mario Paint, it's just fun. And I mean, they had I think you could do up to 9 panels of animation, and it was designed so well, so beyond its time, because I think you could copy paste and then make changes, and like you could do the music stuff. Mario Paint was just a lot of fun, and totally a sideways jaunt from what normal video gaming was back then, right? It was a better computer experience than most computers. And it was on the Super Nintendo. It was just crazy. Yeah, the issue was outdated TZ data package. Okay. Oh, yeah. It's not something that you necessarily think about updating often. And it probably wasn't considered, here, I'm talking about this one, but yeah, it probably wasn't considered a security risk or a security package. So like it didn't get prioritized for updates. I could totally understand that, right? Because it doesn't seem that big of a deal until it is. It's not funny. I'm sure it was a pain in the butt, but hopefully nothing went horribly wrong. But yeah, it was an interesting problem to have to deal with. And so is this permanent now? Is there no more daylight saving time in Mexico at all? I still don't know what we're going to do here in the U.S. if they're going to do away with it or not. The last I heard, it had to be voted in somewhere. I don't even remember where, but the proposed solution was to keep daylight saving time forever, which I think is just a dumb solution. Even if I preferred that to standard time, would we just then be forever 1 hour off from the rest of the world? That's just so weird. It's just so weird. But anyway, if the world was flat, it sure would make things easier. But that's silly spherical worlds. I guess technically the Earth is not a sphere. It's what is it? An oblong spheroid. It's a little bit fatter in the middle because the spin, it squishes out a little bit from the spin. But definitely not flat. But I think it's a little bit fatter around the equator, just because of the spin. So anyway, it doesn't save a penny. Yeah, it doesn't. I don't even know if it did back when they did it, but it certainly doesn't now. It's just annoying, and it loses so much money in productivity loss because it really affects people. It used to be something I would joke about all the time. But people really believe that the Earth is flat. I don't even understand how you would possibly think that. Just look up. All of the things that we can see in the sky are round. I guess they think that we're round, but made like a plate, like a flat, disc or whatever. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. So anyway, I don't know how we got there. Daylight saving time. It was my fault. Yeah. No, I'm going to blame Santiago. It's his fault for bringing up the the daylight saving time. Oh, so we have people from multiple countries here. I might be the only one representing the U.S., but Easter meals, is that a specific thing? Is this like a holiday where you have special meals? I'm just curious. I like food, apparently. Like I said, we kind of go against the grain. Most places here in the U.S. do not have sandwiches for Easter dinner, but that's our thing. It had been subs for a long time, sub sandwiches, but now it's last couple of years it's just been our own home panini pressed sandwiches. So, and you want to know a tip about making an incredible panini sandwich? On the outside of the bread, you butter the outside, no matter what kind of sandwich it is. I mean, not peanut butter and jelly, but like, regular sandwich. You butter the outside kind of like you're going to make a grilled cheese, and then you sprinkle the powdered Parmesan cheese onto the butter so that it sticks on the butter. And then you squish that in the panini press. You get this wonderfully golden brown, cheesy, crunchy on the outside of the sandwich. It's just amazing. That's honestly, same thing for grilled cheese sandwiches. If you make grilled cheese sandwiches, do that, and it just makes it amazing. Mason just cooked a roast dinner for the family about 2 hours ago. Oh, so like a beef roast? Is that when you say a roast dinner? Is that what you mean? Or Santiago, Cuba converted to Mexico. In Cuba, we don't celebrate Easter. Oh, declared a socialist country and forbid. Oh, okay. Well, that does make holiday dinners awkward, I suppose, if you don't have them. So yeah, interesting. Ooh, yeah. All right. And yeah, when you say roast dinner, Mason, I'm curious. What do you mean by roast dinner? Is that like beef? Oh, chicken today. To get lamb, love lamb so much. Okay, fascinating. So yeah, we again, I've been a vegetarian for a long time, but we used to do beef roasts. Basically, just like a big hunk of roast. I don't know meat stuff very well, but and then like carrots, potatoes, and onions, and the juices, and then usually we would thicken the juice at the end, maybe to make it kind of a stew. Maybe that was what we did with the leftovers. I don't know, but anyway, that was a meat and potatoes kind of meal, is what we would refer to that as. Oh no need to be sorry. So and you probably don't know why I'm a vegetarian. I'm a vegetarian because I have stage 3 chronic kidney disease. And I have to, in order to stop my kidneys from getting worse and worse and worse and eventually failing, eat less protein. And the best way I've found to eat less protein is to not eat meat. Again, doesn't, there's other ways to eat less protein. I could eat less meat, but eating no meat was a really good way for me to reduce my protein intake. And while there's not as much scientific backing for it, it seems like plant-based protein is easier on kidneys, or easier for kidneys to break down or something. And I say that because my kidney function has actually gotten better, which never happens. Kidneys are one of those things where when they get bad, they stay at the level of badness that they are, and you try really hard to let them not get worse. And so that was the goal. Like, I had really crappy kidneys and I wanted to keep them at the crappy level. But it actually turned out I went vegetarian and I stopped eating all meat. And I wasn't even that careful about other stuff that I ate, to be quite honest. And my kidney function actually increased. So now I'm just like I said, I was stage 3 chronic kidney failure, or chronic kidney disease, which was true. But my kidney function has like gone up to the point where now I'm just like, whatever that stage is where it's like a warning, like you're in the bad zone, but you don't have kidney disease yet. So far so good. So I mean, yeah, I'm that's why I'm vegetarian. My wife is vegetarian just because she's kind of following along. It's easier if we both are vegetarian. Our kids were meat eaters, but a lot of times they'll just eat whatever we're eating too if they visit. I mean, they're all adults now. So anyway, yeah, that's it. So don't worry like you were offending me or anything. Yeah. Yeah, I'm vegetarian by necessity, and it's been working. So we're going to stick with it because, yeah, it's been awesome. Let's see. I did get a response. The one son got in school iPad is called Stop Motion. So if Mason, if this person has an iPad, look for something called Stop Motion. I guess that's an iPad program that might be good for simple animation. Mason, I got IBS gravy is the most of the roaster. IBS goes crazy. Oh, I take the pain because you love the food. I used to feel that way. I used to feel that way about bacon. Like when we went vegetarian, I was like, but bacon. Oddly enough, I don't miss it that much anymore. There's really not a whole lot of meat that I really miss. I thought I would. And I did at first, but now I'm pretty much fine without it. So that's cool. 20 plus years vegetarian. Oh, hello, BRK0511. I don't know how to pronounce that. So, but yeah, I was just saying, yeah, I'm a vegetarian because I have bad kidneys, and it was an easy way to eat less protein, and my kidney function actually increased, which has been amazing. Santiago, when the Pope visited Cuba in 1998, the government allowed that 25th. Oh, not Easter week. Fascinating. Huh. So, so now I'm curious. This is just curiosity on my part now. So the 25th of December is a holiday. Did it remain a holiday, or was it just in 1998, or is like December 25th still considered a holiday? Because I mean that could be not even a religious holiday anymore these days, right? I mean the Christmas is just as much a secular holiday as anything else. So it remains. Okay. But not Easter. Yeah, it's tough to spin Easter as anything other than religious based. I mean, don't get me wrong; it's very secularized with bunnies and eggs and Easter baskets and chocolate eggs. But fascinating. I didn't realize that with communism came a lack of holidays, religious holidays. So I just learned that. So I appreciate that. An agreement with the Vatican. Fascinating. Pretty cool. I'm trying to think anything else interesting going. There's really nothing else. I was considering not doing the live stream, but I mean everybody was just kind of chilling out on the couch. I'm like, hey, might as well. And there I learned about Cuba and communism. So thank you. Yeah, the other friend of mine whose son and or daughter had another animation app hasn't responded, but I'm sure he's having dinner with his family because he hasn't been chatting in our little group chat all day. So, yeah. Any cool projects at the moment? I mean, I continue to work with, and they're not here right now, I don't think, but Glocktor, who has been here the last few weeks, we're trying to get this guy to do stuff better than, because it's old technology. And yeah, it's been rough. I think last week I did have like Tux do stuff. Let me log in. That's one of the like projects that I've been working on. Oh, and it's offline. Yeah, I can't even connect to it. I don't know why that computer back there, that computer that the Tux Fish is sitting on, keeps going offline, and so I can't connect to it, and I don't know why. It's probably the Wi-Fi dongle that's connected, but anyway. So we're working on that. I have my writing desk set up now. That is not Linux based though. That's an old iMac Mini, and I am setting up So I found I had like 70 old articles that I did an open source classroom, and Santiago was talking about the book too. Yeah, like 70 old articles, and if half of them are still relevant, I mean, a lot of things were made sense in the moment, but this is like 10 years ago, right? Or maybe not quite 10 years ago, 5 years ago, up to 10 years ago. Some of that stuff is absolutely no longer relevant. Some of it is though. And if half of them are still worth reading, that's probably enough for a decent sized book. So right now I do have all of the articles in there, and as I've had time, I've gone over and just like gotten rid of some of the things that didn't make sense. And I'm trying to put them in some sort of an order. It's since the title of the column was open source classroom, I'm having like the book in 3 parts. It's going to be like classroom, science lab, and recess, and the 3 parts of the book. And then there's going to be chapters in there, learn like where you're just learning Linux stuff. And then where you are, the middle part, the lab, is where like trying to apply things to like projects. Like I have a 4-part Ansible series in there, and BirdCam 1 through 5, and just like ways to learn using projects. And then the recess is going to be where I covered things like how to game and how to do just, stuff that is just fun. And so I'm going to break it into those 3 parts. And right now I'm like moving the different articles into the sections that make sense, and then I have to go through and edit all the articles. So this is something very funny. Back when I was writing professionally for Linux Journal, I didn't know that Markdown was a thing, right? I didn't know that that was like a format to format stuff. And so whenever I would submit my articles, and it was always plain text articles, whenever I'd submit them, I would have like my own notation, and I would put like section heading, like I'd write the word section heading and like close it in like HTML bracket things or whatever. And so I have this format that was just my own to tell the editor like what I wanted, but what a pain in the butt for her. And she never corrected me because she's sweet, but I have to go through and undo all that craziness that I did to make them flow, and, to make one article flow into the next. So yeah, it's not going to take as long as writing a whole book, but it is going to take some actual time just to get through it all. Oh, translating to Spanish. Yeah, we'll see how that. Yeah, that would be cool. I gotta get it done and gotta figure out what we're gonna do. I think, and this one I think is gonna be. I'm not gonna try to traditionally publish this one. I think it's gonna be self-published. And so my friend Kyle Rankin, who's had lots of books published, he's doing his first self-published thing right now. He's gonna go through and the School of Hard Knocks, figure out the ins and outs and kind of walk me through that. So I'm looking forward to that as well. Need Linux books in Spanish. All right. Yeah. I hope that I hope it's a useful book. I mean, I really enjoyed writing the column. So, it's hard for me to actually explain what it will be. It's more like, it's kind of like the point of my column was to get people comfortable using Linux. And so that's kind of what the whole book's going to be, right? It's going to be getting people comfortable using Linux, teaching, the basics, teaching how it can be fun, doing projects with it. So it's going to just be kind of across the board there, but hopefully it makes a book that makes sense. And Glocktor's here. Hello, Glocktor. I was just talking about Tux as one of the projects that I've been working on, kind of off and on though, not as much as I'd like. And I'm taking this next week off. I know I started the live stream today, and I'm going to take next week off, which is true, but I'm going to be working outside a lot, so I won't be able to do as much stuff. So we'll see how it goes. Mason was here talking about the book. So yeah, no, this first book, and I know I kind of just answered that question, but this book is, it's going to be a compilation of articles that I wrote for Linux Journal. The nice thing about Linux Journal, when we publish stuff, the only thing they bought, and they paid well, which was cool. I mean, I was on staff, so, it wasn't like a per article thing, but, they only, purchased or had the right to like first publish rights, if that makes sense. So, we couldn't publish it before they did, but as soon as they published it, we were allowed to do whatever we wanted with it. It was ours to like republish. And so all of the articles that I wrote are mine to do with what I want. And I'm going to compile them all together into a book that hopefully flows. It was just from the one column that I did. I have about 70 of them over the years. And yeah, I'm going to try and put them together. And that's going to be my first book. It's not going to be the only book I write. I do want to write, I kind of want to write a story. And I've talked a little bit on the live stream before. I had a friend in high school who takes his privacy now extremely seriously, to the point where he's a little uncomfortable with me telling some of the stories of our childhood. And it's especially weird because I don't actually remember those because of my car accident, but I have like all of these stories that I've pieced together from different people telling me and retelling me that I've told them. And they're just funny stories, but I'm not sure how I'll be able to do that. But I also want to write a memoir about my accident, my car accident. And I mean, that's how I got into Linux. That's kind of a interesting story for me, I think. But I just miss writing. So yeah, I hope that this putting together of a book kind of spurs me into writing more frequently, because I do miss it. I didn't realize how much I missed it until I started rearranging some of the stuff. I'm like, I miss writing all this stuff. So we'll see how that goes. So I guess that answers the question. Glocktor has been doing a lot of the work on the Tux droids to make them work. And it's just such a pain in the butt. And I'm still torn. So I got it to work using 64-bit operating system, right? It's like the one behind me, like it's the Wi-Fi dongle, why it's offline now. But if it works on Ubuntu 22.04, 64-bit, but some things worked better when I installed on a 32-bit version of Ubuntu 18.04. That was the most recent version of Ubuntu that I could find as 32-bit. So it worked better on that, but then it's an older operating system that's no longer supported. So it's just it's like 6 of one, half dozen of another. There's some good things and bad things going both directions. And it's still fun to play with though. So hopefully it'll still happen where I can give some away too. Hopefully I haven't waited too long. I don't think I've waited too long. As long as the guy still has some to sell, I think he'll still honor the whole giveaway thing. So we'll see how that goes. But that should be coming up. It's gotta be in April because my wife has her surgery on May 4th, and I won't be able to I have to take some time, especially right away, to help her out. So I won't be able to do any silly late night streaming stuff. So is it still supported? Okay, if Ubuntu 18.04 is still supported, at least for a little bit, I guess that would be worthwhile. It means at least the security updates are still there. So yeah, maybe I'll try that. Interesting. That's good to know, Santiago. I might actually try that. You could even do a free subscription. That's cool. So yeah, that was the way. And then you have to get hardware that supports 32-bit too, because this little cute computer right here that I can't find with my finger. Yeah, the one that the little fish is sitting on. It I can't get it to boot a 32-bit operating system because it's UEFI, but UEFI 64-bit only. It doesn't have the legacy mode, and so I couldn't get it to boot from a 32-bit installer even. So I do have another small-ish computer, not quite as small, that will run 32-bit. So I might go back to there. I don't know. Hey, Glocktor, what are you doing? Are you using a 64-bit OS for it, or are you using a 32-bit OS to control your Tuxdroid? I'm just curious what you ended up doing. And Santiago probably knows the answer to that, Mason, better than me, but I'm guessing it just means you have access to repositories with security updates. That would be my guess. Because I don't know that you have access. You still have access to something, but I don't think they're updated security things. So yeah, I don't know what the answer to that is. So what else? Is there anything else to cover before we get? Oh, you want to know something frustrating? It's not really a project, but... And I did get one blip yesterday. So I don't know if you've been listening to me whine about my Wi-Fi. I have Unify, Ubiquiti access points in my house and at my farm. And they've been just blinking out where like all of a sudden you can't connect or something. And like you have to restart an access point. It's really, really frustrating. So I broke down because it was getting really bad. And I got this. This is a Ruckus R310, like their smallest access point. This is just a Ruckus R310 Unleashed. Their smallest access point, but it's still pretty spendy. But I got it because I was so frustrated with the Unify stuff. And then I turned off all of the Unify features like BSS, which I don't even know, something about roaming and all this other stuff. I turned it off, and then the Wi-Fi started working better. I was like, oh, great. So I just purchased this stupid Ruckus AP, and other stuff is going to start working. But I did notice that my doorbell went offline or had really weak signal recently, like earlier today. So maybe it was just a fluke that things were working. And I'm going to I'll probably install the Ruckus downstairs. So I have two access points in my house. One is upstairs, actually in my closet right over there. And that is for the second story. And then downstairs, I have one that covers the whole downstairs. But the real advantage is that they work together well. I just couldn't afford two. So yeah, I'm sticking with I'll start with one, and then if it works really well, maybe I'll get the second Ruckus access point. Oh, Debian 32-bit is what Glocktor is using. Okay, cool. Oh, and Santiago, yeah, I don't see a link. Sorry about that. I don't even know where I would approve a link. I'm not in YouTube. I'm in the Restream IO thing. So it probably like in YouTube would say, should I let Santiago send a link? He looks suspicious. Sorry about that. But yeah, if you put it in the Discord, that'd be awesome. And yeah, the okay, Ubuntu 32-bit is what Glocktor was using. I might go back to 32-bit. It seemed to just work better. And so, and Debian 32-bit, I hadn't thought of, because I'm sure you can probably get a recent version of Debian 32-bit, and then you just have to worry about like the Python versions, because it's built on Python 2. So that's interesting. Yeah, I bet Debian 32, because you could, there's got to be like a current version of Debian 32-bit. What release are you using of 32-bit Debian? Like stable, or I'm on Bookworm on my main desktop. I think, is Bookworm currently unstable? No, I think Bookworm is the current testing. I'm not up to snuff on what Debian versions are what. But yeah, I didn't think about that. Debian would have a 32-bit currently, even, because Debian is awesome like that. Maybe I'll try that. Maybe I'll install that on the other machine. Oh, you're on, okay, Bookworm. Wait, is Debian Bookworm stable? I thought Bookworm was testing. Did it recently switch? I thought I was on testing. Huh. Well, now I don't even know. My whole life has been a lie. I'll have to play with that. So, but if you see me playing with like computer stuff too much next week, everybody remind me, Sean, get outside and scoop up the dog poop. That's why you took the time off work. Yeah, I'm glad that they do still support 32-bit, because I didn't think about it, but Debian has always supported so much that other distros didn't. So it makes sense that they would still support 32-bit. You can probably get 8-bit Debian for that matter. Not really, but Debian has always been real big on supporting lots and lots of architectures, which is one of their cool things. So, all right. Anyway, I suppose I should go downstairs, because if I don't, everybody else is going to have to like put away all the food and do dishes and stuff. There's not a whole lot of dishes, which is nice, but I shouldn't make everybody put the food away. So, hey, thanks for stopping by, everybody. And like I said, I have this next week off of my day job, and I don't know what that's going to look like as far as online stuff goes, but hopefully it'll be fun. One last thing. I'll end with this, talking about cool projects. So I have, my bird cam. I don't know if you know, I have the live stream of my bird stuff, like out my window, and then like the bird bath. I have a bird feeder in the front yard that has a camera and it was an indoor camera. I put it outside, and so now like the lens has like fogged up like permanently. It's not working well. But one of the things I'm going to do this week, because it's thought out, is run a PoE camera to that bird feeder, like dig a trench and bury some Ethernet cable. And so my bird cam, then my live stream throughout the day, will actually have 3 cameras that it follows the motion. So when it detects motion, it will switch to the camera with motion. And so there'll be like one more place for it to switch to see live birds. And then as the birds continue to get more and more prevalent, there should be a lot more birds to see. And then, of course, there's the footage every night that it downloads and makes a compilation video every night too. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So that's the other big project is I'm going to have at least one more coming up soon, camera for the live stream. And so yeah, that's cool. And on that note, I will say, have a happy Easter to everyone. And if you're not an Easter celebrator, have a wonderful Sunday. Thanks for joining me just for a quick chat. And hopefully this next week will be fun and interesting, and I'll be able to do something. Maybe live stream the poop scooping. Probably not. That would be boring. Anyway, have a great rest of the day, everybody. And I don't know how to stop the stream well still. Here it is. Okay. I'll see everybody later. Bye. Oh, dang it.